Hello. Thank you for this opportunity to go through a little bit what we've been doing in Austurland. Just before we start, because we've had a few presentations done for the past weeks and months, how many of you have heard about our project, Áfangastæður in Austurland? Can you raise a hand, please? So pretty much everybody. So I'm going to run through the first parts then quite quickly. Austurland as a project started with our grassroots, our tourism companies in east of Iceland want to sharpen the message of what we are, what we cherish, and as a guiding light. We started with this project in 2014, but we had an older project running before that, which was very much based on design and culture. So that helped us a lot in the beginning of this. At Austurbrú, we have an organization that holds business development, marketing, education, cooperation grounds for municipalities, and more, culture and more. And on Áfangastæður, along with me, have been working Daniel and Maria, Elva, Jóna, and Laura. And these are all people either working for Austurbrú or very much connected to us, like Daniel, which is our destination designer from Sweden. And we can more or less say that his guiding light, holding our hand through this project has been vital for us to reach this point in time. I have this slide in Icelandic because some of you have seen it before in a presentation that was last week or the week before, held for municipalities, but destination management plan and destination design is about much more than our guests. That is tourists. We like to refer to them as our guests. It is more about our locals. The people of Austurland are the backbone of our economy, backbone of our communities. So we've been working this project with the locals, mostly with the help of many other outsiders coming in and giving us insights and information, helping us along. But in general, there has been in Iceland, like in many other countries, inclination from people moving from the countryside, from the rural areas down to the bigger cities and to the bigger towns. So we need to reverse that development, and one of the opportunities to do that is through tourism. So that is one of the ways we've been working on it. As I say, this has been started in 2014, and last year we reached a certain milestone because we're going to go into and have already started working on a regional plan for Austurland as a whole, through the planning structure with the municipalities. So these two things, the destination, this project about people living in Austurland and people visiting Austurland, and our regional plan is working hand in hand. We have a regional planning committee working side by side our team that is working for the destination. So this is a vital thing, I think, for the future in both the DMP and in other structured approaches that we're going to use. We've been taking guidelines from all over the place. We've done an extensive benchmarking in the beginning of 2014. And we've done quite a few, gone through quite a few of various reports. We have our own guiding light, sóknaráætlun, which is based in a lot of discussion in the community of what what the future holds, but also national, like very recent, and international reports. We started in September, well, officially started in September 2014. It's like a startup of the project. The second phase was analysis, and the third phase was the design, and now we are in the implementation phase. Throughout this, we've done a lot of collecting our results down to reports, which we use, and I was just the last one here, which is called the Story of Austurland. I just got it from the printers yesterday, and this is just a preview, so if I can take it back at the end of it, but for you just to look through while we go through look through them. And just to make emphasis on this, that part of our implementation relates to the toolbox which we are working on now, and is we are opening next week the official gateway for our toolbox, and that's why I'm the only one here today. My team, which I listed there, or our team in Austurland, they're all busy working on getting us ready for next week. But two of them are going to join us tomorrow, both Maria, which has been driving a big part of this effort, and Laura, which has also been working in this environment for a very long time. And Daniel, which really much liked to be here today and tomorrow. He's watching us on GoToMeeting. Yeah, so say hi to him. He's following us closely. I'm just going to go over to the report. I'm just going to put the report up here, and just going over roughly what it is. Us. Just taking this here. As we see the destination, and we've been taking notes from others, it's much about the story. What is the story of Austurland? What is the story of the locals in Austurland? What is the story about businesses in Austurland? And we need, as an area, to understand our own story. Iceland has been changing very rapidly for the past 2 or 3 decades. So we've been now for 2 years going through the discussions locally between individuals. What is the story of Austurland? We need to understand it properly in order to be able to tell it, and bring it also back to life. As I said before, the project plan has been very extensive, and this phase that we're in now in the DMP, there are parts which we feel we have already gone through, but there are parts that we still have to go. So the mixture of the two is what we need to work on, integrating what we still remain to do in the next 12 months. This is about the 4 phases of the work, and just to emphasize the communication platforms that you have to have in a region like ours, where we have 15,000 square kilometers, we have 11 towns, we have 8 municipalities, we have a lot of companies. You have to allow time for communication. It takes time. It takes time to, and that, you know, the big areas, all of us know that it takes time for everybody to come together, talk about the routine, talk about the future, how we see the future, and the common goals that we want to reach in the future. And that has been sort of the key element in our project, that there's been a lot of discussions, and they are really essential to making a good project. Because we want Austurland to continue to be the home for our locals, and that they feel that this is their home, and this is their culture we're presenting, and it's their goals and ambitions that are shining through our project. And that's one of the key elements, I think, in why we've reached this stage, is that we've allowed for that time, we've allowed time for those discussions, so that everybody feels confident and committed to the journey that we're on. The Austurland demo is one of the things that we've been working on now for the past past months. And Austurbrú is a structure which is going to host the Austurland demo and be the leader of the Austurland demo. And before we had the steering committee up and everything, we had monthly meetings with the municipalities, for example, with those that are working in business development and tourism development and service development within the municipalities. So today we have monthly meetings with a big group of people. And just to show you the basic structure of the DMO, you can maybe see it better in the report. But it's the regional DMO committee. Then we have, of course, the project team, which entails a lot of people. And then we have these local connections. And we have stakeholders in different levels as well. We have national stakeholders. We have stakeholders that are working in Austurland as a whole. And then we have more localized stakeholders. But all of this environment has to work structurally for the future, so that we both don't get in each other's way, but also that you get some synergy in the process of the work, and you get some results out of it. We're working on the partnership model, how we're going to build that up, and we're searching the images to our national forest, which is in east of Iceland, where the roots and the stem and the branches and the leaves and the atmosphere, everything works together in one synergy for the future of the area. Because each part of the tree is essential. You can't take one out, and then the goal is not to grow one strong tree. The goal is to grow a forest, strong forest. So for a partnership model, for everybody to see their part in the whole project and see their roles in it, we need to have some kind of way to communicate that. And we searched it in our background and found and our sort of one of the things that identifies us as Austurland, and one of them is our forests now trees. Toolbox. There are, as I told you before, we're sort of starting with 4 basic tools. Our brand platform is one of them. It has taken through workshops and such to build a platform, just to know where is our base, what kind of customers do we want in East Iceland? How are we going to communicate our story towards them? What is our vision and mission and all of this? And also what are the values that we want to cherish in our region? We have like a guiding star, which we try to incorporate all these elements of our brand platform into one statement, or yeah, which makes it easier for us to communicate to our environment. We've gone through a lot of analysis and had a lot of good input from different parties related to our audience and our target groups. And there also we searched a little bit inwards. What kind of people love living in Austurland? It is the nature nerds, it's the gentle adventure, it's the selective explorer. These are characteristics of us, the locals. If we love living there, we imagine guests that have the same values and have the same feeling as we do. They would love to come and visit our region. So that is one of the ways we work with these target groups through our workshops, is looking more at us. I mean, most of us in east of Iceland have the opportunity to live somewhere else. We would just decide to do it. But there's a reason why we stay there. There's a reason we love living in this region, and we are really proud of our region and feel that this is our home. So trying to search those characteristics and use that as a part of our search for the right target audience, those that feel the same, have the same goals and have the same characteristics or view to life that we have, would enjoy visiting us. We have defined 4 areas which we want to work on more, like prioritize. Outdoor activities, explore food and culture, creativity. These are the sort of the 4 focus areas for the work ahead, both within the DMP process, also in the wider context of the DMP. Manifesto focus areas, visual identity. Some say that, well, it's more about making a DMP, making a destination is so much more than making a logo. So this visual identity, our guiding star, this is the last thing that we did, basically, because we needed to work on our backs, the backdrop of what identity is about before we start making a logo. So logo is usually what comes last if you're making a brand. So, but we have that, we have communication, we have rules and regulations on how to use this logo, and this is part of our toolbox, which will be opened next week. The logos also come into play when we're talking about, which is very much connected to the basics of the DMP, just the signages in the towns, in the villages, in the moving around Austurland. So that is a special project that has come out of this and is being worked on with a big community. For example, we are working now on a signage program related specifically to these camper van not destinations, but camper van places where people stop and stay overnight, but don't really realize that they're not supposed to be stopping there. So along with the municipalities, they're changing all been starting to change their lögreglusamþykktir within the municipalities. We're also designing signs, which are hopefully going to be put up before the summer, so that we can direct the traffic or direct these guests that need these kind of facilities into the right location to be. And we've gone through a lot of discussion on how we're going to do it. People started doing it, but well, we have talked about should we put up a sign that says not allowed, or Red Cross or all that. But we don't want to do it. We are a community, and our guests should consider themselves part of our community while they're staying with us. So it's more about communicating our values. We prefer that you use the facilities that are over there or on this and this and this location, and you would be helping our community or being a responsible part of our community if you do that. So we're not going to set up, no parking allowed, no trespassing allowed, or anything. Just more trying to communicate our values and our expectations of our fellow guests or our fellow inhabitants at that moment in the communities. Communication platform. Tone of voice. We're a very optimistic region, even though we're very far away from the capital. We see that not necessarily as a disadvantage. We are part of Austurland. Austurland is proud of what we have. We have a very diverse economy. We have fisheries is a big part of our economy. We have big production companies. We have also a lot of small companies. We have artists, and so our tone of voice is what we feel is part of the message of our communication platform, and that tone of voice is that we're proud of ourselves. We're proud of our region, and there is a reason why we live in Austurland, as I said before, and we think that tone of voice is both going to help us attract more visitors, but also attract people to live in Austurland. Of course, infrastructure, better roads, better air links, all that, better internet connections and all of that. Of course, that is important, but all in all, it is our community is what we strive for and what we burn for. We've gone through one of the communication platforms about imagery. We are now working on a new photo bank with imagery from all of the community, all of the area. Part of that is going to be open next week, and we've been putting a lot of thought into how we present our day-to-day life in Austurland. What pictures are good pictures and what pictures are not so good pictures, and why this one is better than the other one. Part of it is that if we're going to communicate properly our values, we need to have the visual basis for communicating those values. And photobank is one of the tools. Postmanship platform. It's not just about having the. It's not just about being able to talk people that know a lot about the destination, a lot about Austurland, and have been very much involved in this work. It's also how to reach all of those that are working, you know how it works in the other regions. As soon as the high schools are over, the kids are just rushed into the companies to start work because the tourists are already, or the guests are already there next morning. And where do you incorporate training properly in all the values, in all the the way you want guests to be treated? So we have been working on a hostmanship platform, an online platform which we have witnessed and experienced in Sweden, and the first hostmanship classes are going to be also next on Hönnunarmars, on Design Marsh, where we have the opening here in Reykjavik of Austurland. Yeah, I think I'm almost through the report. One of the things that I think a project like this, it needs to have a group of people. Projects like these don't happen with one person. It's good to have the experience, the getting the information, the guiding star and everything, but a work with a whole region needs to be performed by a group of people where everybody has the same vision for the future. It has to be open to allow everybody to participate. That's our experience. It has to be open so that those that want to participate, want to give their input, that they have the possibility to give that input during the process of work, not when you're at the end line. Because if you do it at the end line, you're going to have a lot of trouble, and it's going to affect how you can use the work that you already did before. So that is our experience. Also, seek out knowledge wherever you can find it. We've had a lot of good input and good knowledge coming into our project from all sorts of both organization, locals, businesses. So try to, that's one of our learnings in this, try to incorporate as much gateways for new knowledge to come in as you possibly can. It's good to have a core group of people that is very united and communicate very well. It is difficult for a project of this size if it relies on one single person to sort of be driving the trolley, driving the car. It needs to be a group of people, because you can always have a situation where one needs to go out of the work for a period of personal reasons even. You just have to have a group of people that know enough about the project, know enough about where you're going, how you're going to work it. And have dedicated people. Be proud of what you're doing. Be very proud of your region. And I think all of us that are in here have been working for our regions. We are in this business. We are doing this because we are very proud of what we have. And utilize that. Try to be very sort of utilize it in your work as much as you can, and be that's sort of what I've been and Daniel and Maria and Laura and Elva and Jóna and all of us that have been working is we've been using as a part of our drive, because it is a long journey, and it is a lot of things that are going to come up that are not so much fun. And it's not all, walk on roses all the time. So you have to have the drive and seek out enjoyment that you're doing something that works for you. Questions? I was not going to do a monologue, but I've been doing a monologue, so. No questions. Everybody knows everything about Austurland.
Congratulations. It's fantastic work.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a question. I think the last few things you said are just very, very critical, but I want to say, not just because I think he's listening, but Daniel, hi Daniel, that the design has been absolutely exemplary, that everything you've done that I've seen. I wonder to what extent, how important you felt the quality of design, which I think Daniel's done a fabulous job. How important has that been in engaging stakeholders and getting that message across?
It has been really important. It has been a key element because it is one thing to stand in a meeting and talk and talk and talk, especially to those that are used to sitting in committee meetings all day long. If you want to get the commitment, they need to have something visual. And the design has been one of the key elements in driving the talk forward. And yeah, I think it's been one of the key elements. I mean, there are a lot of key elements, but it has definitely been one of them. And the quality, never, what we've been trying to do, never give discount on the quality of the work. It's easy to cut corners, just to be, you know, because people want results yesterday. For example, with the logo which came at the end, people were just, well, can't we just, you know, whip up a logo and that's that. You know, don't give discounts on quality, and enlist people with knowledge as much as you possibly can. And you have a lot of, all the regions have people with knowledge within their region, so try to involve them, try to get them interested in this. And that's talking about the design. We have a community of designers in Austurland. They have been involved in this work through Laura, which is in Austurland, which has been vital in the big picture.
The other real advantage of using your experts who are local is that they quite often contribute their time for no cost. So it's also a process of ownership, and it's good management practice. But you end up with something that is so high quality that people want to be part of it.
Part of it, yeah. You're making a movement. Like Maria talks a lot about, we're making a movement. Yeah. We're not making a project. Yeah. We're making a movement where we're changing, not changing tone of voice, but we're emphasizing the tone of voice Austurland wants to have.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It is a movement.
It is a movement. Yeah.
I'm very impressed. Congratulations. Very rewarding to see this. I'm also very impressed with what my name is Martin, I'm a consultant. I was wondering about the process and the public participation, and like if you had regular groups or regular meetings during the whole process, and how many public meetings, and how you
we have had
general public,
yeah.
And if it was difficult to find, it was difficult.
I mean, you just know how it is today to get people involved. People are very selective of their time. So we've had numerous of open meeting workshops have been very useful. You know, whole day workshops where you get people together, and you have to, when you're starting a project like this, you have to take the time to phone up people and say, well, you know, you don't want to miss this, you have to be there. And it takes time. You know, project managing a project like this takes a lot of time, because you're also taking a lot of individual conversations, you know, so to enlist and try to get people on board, which you think are essential to be a part of this. So we have had, I think they were trying to collect it together last fall. By then we had already more than 250 up to 300 people that had been involved in open workshops and such. Then we've had open meetings. We've had some of our marketing conferences have been about Austurland, that we, for the past year, have been incorporating this as a part of other projects. So when we're talking about education in the east of Iceland, we also talk about these values. When we're talking about business development, we talk about these values. So we're incorporating it in all the stream of services that we're working with within Vinnustofa. It's yeah, it takes time. A lot of people, but I don't have the exact count.
So this is the start of your destination management plan.
This is our destination management plan.
Okay,
Yeah, but some of it, yeah.
One for the whole region.
We have one, but then we have action plans or action, yeah, what's it called? I'll get it out in action plans. Yeah, for various parties. But we have one BMP, and then we have more action plans.
Are they already?
They're already formed to some parts, but they're different. Okay. Some parts of it are already done through this, so we're more into like the sign program. We're more into actual implementation of what solutions or whatever you want to call it, focus areas we need to go into and such. And Austurland.is our website that is opening next week. We're going to open it locally at our airport next week with our home network. And then we're going to bring Austurland along with our design environment in Austurland to be here at Kex Hostel next Friday. So Austurland is coming to town. The city, because as they were talking about before, the synergy between regions, and this is one of the things that we felt were essential. That was to present an area this far from Reykjavik in the heart of the design festival in Reykjavik. So it will be fun.
Yes. My name is Sigrid, and I'm from Jóna. Yes, that's Iceland. I want to start with congratulating you on the project. I'm thinking, because it's a very large area that you are working with, are you located?
Austurbrú is located in 6 places in Austurland, in Vopnafjörður, Seyðisfjörður, Neskaupstaður, Reyðarfjörður, Egilsstaðir, and Djúpivogur. We also have monthly meetings, as I said before, with key people within the municipalities, which is sort of like a subcommittee from our project team, and that helps us to keep contact with what's going on in each region. And this committee is really wonderful to look at how they all are so willing to work on Austurland as a whole. So I have somebody in Djúpivogur working with a route development in Vopnafjörður area. And they're just, they're thrilled being working across borders. We're both Skyping, but with the committee, we set up like a road program. Each member hosts one meeting during the winter, so he's responsible for everything being in place. And then everybody else comes to that location, and then we get also the synergy and feel for each place between regions. So it's a part of mixing people together. Think about it when you're making how you communicate. But Skyping is really essential when you're in an area like this. So, for example, having our designer in Sweden, him being in our go-to meeting, and we Skyping back and forth. It has been. We just have to find solutions. So in your regions, it's definitely something you have to think about. Any questions you want to ask, feel free, either now or later, or to anybody of our team. As I say, it's not an individualist program. This is a team effort, team game.
Different strengths.
Yeah, I've got Maria is very creative, think outside the box person, but I also have the grounded person. One is very statistical, analytical. The other is very good in writing texts, and so yeah, we need to rely on each other and use the strengths that we don't have and find it in other people around us and try to get it into the project any way you can.
Okay, I think it's about lunchtime. Can I say thank you, Jóna? We've had a really great, I've learned something from every single person this morning. I hope you have. It's been really interesting how people have come at the process from different angles, different perspectives, different challenges. But I think I just want to pick up before we go to lunch on some things that you said that I think are really, really important for everyone. Stories. I mean, you've gone big on stories. Absolutely, I said that at the beginning. Involve stakeholders from the outset, from the very start. I mean, I hope you're all doing that, but that's absolutely essential. Be open to new ideas. We're going through big change. Change has been forced upon many regions. Change is hard for many people, so it's being open to those new ideas is really important. And you talked about, I think we can't stress the long journey. Everything. Imagine what you think it's going to take and multiply by 2.5. Yeah. So, anyway, just thank you for a really interesting, another really interesting